Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into this incredibly touching personal story. And honestly, it really just proves that changing the world, it doesn't take massive resources or, these huge grand gestures. It really just takes everyday empathy. Let's jump right in. One small action can change a life. Now, the story we're exploring today, it doesn't actually kick off with this massive, grand realization. Instead, it totally earns it through this very specific, incredibly grounded experience. We're going to trace exactly how one simple, everyday choice just completely cascades into a life-altering event. So the narrative starts off with a scene that I think is universally relatable, a really difficult day. Our narrator is literally just walking home from school, feeling incredibly tired and, well, sad. I mean, we've all been there, right? You know that heavy, totally draining feeling where you're completely stuck in your own head and you're just trying to put one foot in front of the other so you can get home and shut out the world? Setting up this baseline state of mind is absolutely crucial for understanding the sheer magnitude of the shift that's about to happen. And this sets up just a really incredible emotional contrast. We start off with the narrator being completely drained, totally sad. But by the end of this very same day, they're flooded with this sudden, warm feeling inside their heart. So how do we get from point A to point B? What on earth breaks someone out of their own heavy sadness to find that kind of warmth and purpose? Well, suddenly, totally snapping our narrator out of their own internal struggles, they spot a little boy. But here's the thing. He isn't playing, he isn't walking with friends. He's sitting completely alone on a bench. And he looks noticeably scared. He looks hungry. And right here, this is the crucial moment of choice. Our narrator could have so easily just kept walking, totally consumed by their own difficult day. But instead, they pause. And that pause leads to a really vital question. Are you okay? Now, it's just 3 words, but the gravity of this literally cannot be overstated. It represents the exact second the narrator steps completely outside of their own sadness and reaches out to a vulnerable stranger. Just by asking this immediate, really compassionate question, they're throwing out a lifeline, simply by acknowledging this child's presence and his distress. The boy looks up and whispers, "I am lost, and I don't know where my parents are." Wow. I mean, the stakes are instantly raised here. This is no longer just a casual passing observation. It's a full-on, active crisis. Hearing this terrified admission actually makes the narrator's heart beat fast. Because suddenly, you have a child completely separated from their safety net, incredibly fragile, and totally alone. So, faced with this terrifying reality, the narrator makes a definitive pivot straight into immediate intervention. They make this decisive, completely unshakable commitment to stay right there with the boy until they find help. They don't just point him in a direction, and they don't just flag down someone else to deal with it. They take absolute ownership of the entire situation, basically carving out a little safe space in the middle of a frightening world so this boy knows, without a single doubt, that he's no longer alone. And while they wait, the narrator takes some super practical steps. First off, they call the police to get an official lifeline going. But honestly, equally important are the very next steps. They start telling stories and cracking jokes to make the boy smile, and they offer him a bottle of water straight from their bag. You see, kindness during a crisis isn't just about sounding the alarm. It's really about tending to the actual human being right in front of you. It's about calming their nervous system and offering that immediate grounding comfort. All of those really steadying actions build right up to this incredible climax, a joyful reunion. A police officer arrives, and very soon after that, the boy's parents come running. The sheer relief in this moment, it's palpable. The parents hug their child so tightly, thanking the narrator over and over and over again. The crisis is broken, the family is restored, and all that heavy tension completely evaporates into just immense gratitude.
What's really striking about this whole thing is the compression of time. Think about it. We start after school with our narrator walking home super tired. Just moments later, they find the boy, immediately call the police, and then literally just 10 minutes later, we have the reunion. It perfectly illustrates just how quickly a crisis can be resolved through some decisive, compassionate intervention. I mean, in less than a quarter of an hour, a completely terrifying situation transforms into utter joy and safety.
And that incredibly rapid resolution brings us to the true power of kindness. It's actually at this exact moment of reunion that the narrator finally experiences that sudden, warm feeling we talked about earlier. All the fatigue, all the sadness from their difficult day, completely gone, just vanished. And in their place is this profound realization about the true impact of empathy. The act of giving comfort actually ended up comforting and healing the narrator themselves. You see, the narrator realizes that helping others doesn't mean you need to have vast amounts of money or wield some kind of massive institutional power. The true drivers of change are actually quite simple: kindness, courage, and love. I mean, it takes courage to stop and engage with a stranger's problem, right? It takes kindness to offer up your water and your time. And ultimately, it's all rooted in a fundamental love for your fellow human beings. And the best part? These are resources we all possess right now. This realization fundamentally alters the narrator's entire worldview. This wasn't just, a good deed checked off some list. It actually became the foundation for a lifelong commitment to making the world brighter. Ever since that specific day, they've made a promise to just try and help people whenever they can. That single encounter with the lost boy totally rewired their perspective, proving for sure that everyday empathy isn't some one-off event. It's a continuous daily practice.
So what exactly does that daily practice look like for us? Well, it's actually highly accessible. It's things like smiling at strangers, giving up a seat to someone in need, or literally just listening when someone is sad. These aren't huge cinematic rescues, right? They're small, really quiet choices that we can make during our morning commute or sitting in a coffee shop. It's absolute, concrete proof that life is simply better when we actively care about the people around us.
Which brings us to our ultimate question for you. What small act of kindness will you use to make the world brighter today? We've just seen exactly how 10 minutes, one simple question, and a bottle of water can literally change multiple lives and transform a really difficult day into this beautiful, warm memory. You have the exact same capacity for courage, kindness, and love. So take a moment to step out of your own difficult day, look around you, and find your moment. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I challenge you to put this into practice today.